Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another mobile VR review. This week I'm reviewing a highly anticipated Daydream exclusive title. The trailer wowed us back in March, but now it's out and it's time to take an in-depth look at Eclipse Edge of Light. Eclipse Edge of Light was released on April 17th, 2017, and is available on the Google Daydream for $8.99. It's the first title from the newly formed White Elk Studios, which is composed of experienced video game industry professionals whose previous projects include the God of War franchise. Eclipse is now a Daydream exclusive, but was originally intended to be a PlayStation VR title. Not sure how it got from there to here, but that's not really important. In Eclipse Edge of Light, you wake up on a strange, seemingly abandoned alien world after surviving the mysterious crash of your ship. You start off equipped with a spacesuit which will let you scan objects for background information and, much more importantly, fly. You're soon introduced to an artifact that you'll use to interact with the remnants of this lost civilization, and using this and your jetpack you'll explore the world and ultimately uncover the mysteries of the planet. The game plays a bit like Land's End for the Gear VR, except in Eclipse you're not confined to rails at all. From a first-person perspective you're completely free to explore the canyons, caves, labyrinths, and ruins of the planet, and free is the key word here. Your jetpack gives you some additional vertical freedom and becomes absolutely instrumental for puzzle solving. And, in a nutshell, that's the game. You explore the large and beautiful environments, solve puzzles to move through the areas, and dive deeper into the mystery of this planet. And it's truly a wonderful experience. As you progress, the artifact will gain additional abilities. At first it's a key used to open doors, then it's a blunt tool used to smash pots. Further on it's a temporary ledge to stand on, a weapon to destroy sentries, and a looking glass to uncover invisible items and clues. Most of these abilities will be called on repeatedly, so you have to get good at recognizing the opportunities to use them. All the puzzles are enjoyable and satisfying to solve, and I wouldn't say any of them are particularly difficult. I did get stuck in a couple spots, but it wasn't because the puzzles were confusing, but rather because I either didn't explore the area thoroughly, or forgot about one of the artifact's abilities. The game really drives you to play on. In fact, I found this game so engaging that I played until my phone completely depleted the battery and shut down. Twice. The sense of presence and exploration as well as the story really motivates the player to see just one more area. As for the story specifically, it's told through short messages revealed by scanning statues and ghostly holograms depicting past events. It is possible to ignore most of the story and just move through the environment, but I think anybody who enjoys the exploration aspect of the game will be curious enough to investigate the story as well, and it's well worth it. Eclipse is a great example of first-person controls executed perfectly using the Daydream motion controller. The touchpad provides WASD controls, that is, movement forward and back, as well as left and right strafing, with turning controlled by looking. Clicking and holding the touchpad activates the jetpack while still allowing you to move. The app button is used to control the artifact. Clicking and holding and releasing with a throwing motion lets you throw the artifact, while double pressing the app button recalls it to your hand. The throwing mechanic is handled well, with only occasional instances of it not going where you want it to. Aspiring Daydream developers should look to Eclipse as a standard in first-person control implementation, and I really hope we see more of this. At first glance, the graphics are very reminiscent of Land's End. The low-poly landscape, brownstone canyons, and grey ruins with glowing blue light trails definitely look similar between the two games. Not that that's a bad thing, since Land's End is still a gorgeous game to look at. However, Eclipse raises the graphical bar with more detailed textures, more complex and larger scale environments, and a much more detailed skybox. Everything is beautiful, and there were at least a few times, especially in the later acts, where I stopped walking and just took in the almost breathtaking level design. The smaller details also shine. Finding abandoned homes, tools, altars, and temples gives you the impression that this world was once full of life, even though the inhabitants aren't around anymore. The graphics are held back from perfection by two minor but noticeable issues. First, if you look at the skybox for a while, and believe me you will look at it, sometimes you'll be able to point out where the sides and top come together, which breaks the illusion of looking into infinite space. Second, in very rare occasions you can see textures that simply don't render. It is a rare problem, but when it happens you'll see a door or a single face of a wall appear as perfect black, with the texture blinking in as you get closer. Neither of these is a deal breaker, just a minor distraction in an otherwise gorgeous environment. The ambient sounds of Eclipse are all perfectly befitting an abandoned planet. Birds calling, rocks crumbling, footsteps scanning, and impacts are all good, but it's the music that really stands out. Epic instrumental numbers rise as you come upon new vistas, and foreboding tracks accompany your descent through subterranean temples. The music complements the grand scale of the environments perfectly and adds immensely to the atmosphere of exploration and discovery. Equally as atmospheric are the moments of silence as you wind your way through dark passages or contemplate the solution to a new puzzle. Being a first-person perspective game in VR, Eclipse has to address the very real issue of motion sickness. Minecraft, Quake, and even some space shooters and racing games are well known to create motion sickness after only even a few minutes. But the developers have done a wonderful job in minimizing it by doing three things. First, the movement is relatively slow. Walking, flying, and falling all happens at a fairly slow and constant rate, and acceleration is kept to a minimum. Second, the game puts a space helmet on you to restrict your peripheral vision, which can be turned off if you prefer to see the world unobstructed and you have the stomach for it. Third, and related to number 2, an additional vision restriction is added in the form of an iris effect when you move or fly. All of these things definitely help to keep the game comfortable. If you're very sensitive to VR motion sickness, you may want to approach this with caution, but most players should be completely fine. Eclipse conveys a wonderful sense of presence via the scale and freedom of the environments. Except for the minor graphical glitches, the game is convincing and ranks among the most immersive mobile VR titles. I know it was introduced to increase comfort, but I really like the helmet around the edge of your vision. It reinforces the sensation that you're an explorer on an alien world and that, despite its captivating appearance, without your spacesuit you will not survive. I especially like the models for your hands and arms. Even though you can only control one of your arms with the Daydream controller, it really increases the sense of presence and agency when you can see an appendage you control in the game world. So in summary, the game is pretty damn awesome. The world is epic, the music is grand, the puzzles are engaging, and the whole package draws you into the story so much that you won't want to put this one down until it's over, or your battery dies. Playtime should be between 2 to 4 hours depending on how quickly you can solve the puzzles and how much time you spend staring at the scenery. But if you're asking if you should buy it, the answer is an unequivocal yes. It's a Daydream must-have, and you'll love every step of the journey. Thanks for watching. Got something to say about this video, an opinion of the game itself, or VR in general? Leave a comment to let me know what you think. And if you like what you saw and you want to see more of this, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Remember, there's a new video every week, and be sure to check out my other reviews as well. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.